Hey, thanks for watching Chittarupa Yoga and Fitness. I'm Laura Wilson, 200-hour certified yoga instructor. And let's get in touch today with our inner goddess, all right? All we need is our mat and ourselves, so let's get going. Let's go ahead and start in that goddess pose. So we're gonna step out wide, dropping down as far as you're comfortable going, stacking shoulders over hips. And let's take our arms out, elbows bent, and palms forward. And let's close our eyes here and just feel the strength in our legs as we squeeze our feet together and up, finding our energy drawing in and up. And while we're here, let's go ahead and tilt our hands down, but relaxing through our shoulders and taking our hands back up. Let's walk our feet back in underneath our hips. We'll find our mountain pose. We'll come back to that one in a moment. But let's lengthen through our spine, lift through the crown of our head, and just find ourselves grounding into the earth. Taking our 3-part breaths, checking in with how we're feeling today, and just keeping our awareness on our breath, so that our awareness is on this moment right now. And we're going to begin adding some movement to our breath as we inhale the hands up, exhale out and open. Inhaling up, exhaling out and open. And just checking in with how our upper body and our arms are feeling. Now let's take our hands down. We'll step our feet out again or walk them out. Slight turn out when we get there. Let's drop into that goddess pose for a moment. And we're going to begin to inhale up, exhale, sit the hips back, bringing elbows toward our hips, keeping our knees stacked over our ankles. Moving with our own breath. Inhale up, exhale down. Now let's begin to add a little hinge forward of our hips. So we exhale, sit the hips back, and then hinge forward. And let's find that goddess pose again. Opening up here, rotating the hands down. And let's rotate back up. Lifting up, let's draw our feet back in halfway, circling our hips. And let's go the other way. And we'll bring our feet all the way back in. Let's begin to just clap our hands forward and back, warming up through our chest and back. While we're here, we're going to shift our weight over to one foot. Let's keep the toes of the other foot down. And then we're going to shift over to that other foot again. Keep the toes down. And let's come back to that goddess pose for just a moment. And we're going to lift the toes of one foot, turn them out. And let's find warrior two. Let's turn the other toes in. So we still got that stack of shoulders over hips. And we're going to inhale, reverse warrior. Let's come back to warrior two, turn our toes forward, but then we're going to turn the other toes out, finding warrior two on the other side. And let's flip the hand, reaching forward and then up, reverse warrior here. And let's come back to warrior two, turning our toes forward. So we're going to begin to flow here. We're going to exhale over to warrior two, inhale, reverse warrior, exhale, warrior two, inhale, center. Go to the other side, exhale, inhale, exhale, and inhale. So let's just begin to follow our own breath. A few rounds on each side. And just taking care that our joints stay stacked. Let's take it over to that first side. Reverse warrior and hold. And let's just take ourselves straight sideways over to our side angle. And while we're here, if our balance is okay with this, let's take a look straight down and straight up. Back to the center, reverse warrior. And let's straighten our front leg, turn our palm forward. We're going to shift our hips back and reach, shift and reach, find and hold a high triangle, and then right where we are, opening up to our full triangle. And again, checking in with our balance. We'll look down at the floor. We should be okay with this one. It's that looking up that may be tricky. Let's look back to the center. Warrior two, and we'll bring it up. Let's take a little break here, hinging forward, keeping a slight bend at our knees. Let's shake out our head. And we'll hinge back up, taking it to the other side. Warrior two. Let's find our reverse warrior. So we want to keep breathing deeply as we hold a pose. And then taking it straight sideways over to our side angle. And here again, we're going to work through our neck as long as our balance is okay with it. We'll start looking down, getting ourselves grounded. And if we're feeling confident, let's look up, back to the center, and let's bring it up. Reverse warrior. Turning our palm forward, straightening the leg. So again, let's shift our hips back, reach forward, and we want to keep reaching. Find a spot here where we're hugging in through our navel, hugging in our core, holding strong, taking it straight to our triangle from here. And again, working through the neck, let's look down. If our balance is okay, very tricky on this one. Oops, yeah, there we go. Look up. Let's look forward, coming back to warrior two and forward. This time, let's reach our hands back, clasp, and really draw our shoulder blades together. Now let's start by coming halfway forward, making sure that our shoulder blades are still together. And if they are, taking this further forward. And on an inhale, let's bring this back up, turning our toes out just a bit. Let's find that goddess one more time, nice and strong. Bringing it up, let's walk the feet in, and we'll step to the back edge of our mat. From here, our mountain pose, let's inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. And we're going to play around with a little arm balance here. We're going to walk out and find a plank pose. And then on an exhale, we're going to shift our hips up and walk back to forward fold. So working on a little upper body strengthening here. Walk out. Hold that plank. Nice and strong here. And lifting up. Let's take it back out to our plank. And this time we'll drop to our knees and child's pose. So taking a few deep breaths here, adjusting as we need to. We can separate our knees. We can stack our fists. Whatever works. We're going to take it to a few push-ups though. So let's make sure that we start with our hands forward and out shoulder distant. Let's come forward, turning our elbow creases forward. And let's start with just an inch or two. Maybe taking it further. Taking a break in child's pose when we feel like we need it. Staying here. Or moving to a few more push-ups just to get ourselves really strengthened up here. Taking it back to child's pose, or we can take it to downward facing dog. So let's inhale forward for our plank. And we're going to drop one knee right down underneath our hip and turn the foot out. Let's turn the other foot down, and we're going to open up into a kneeling side plank, because we're going to lift from here into our gate pose, which is reaching this hand up. We'll walk the other hand down. And let's come back to that supported side plank. And see about maybe lifting our foot. We'll bring that back down. Let's come back. Child's pose or downward dog. And we're going to come forward again to our plank. Let's drop that other knee right underneath the hip. Turn the foot out, finding that supported side plank, and then gate. And just feeling that length in our side. Coming back to the side plank, checking in with lifting our foot. Let's bring that back, child's pose or the downward dog. Finding a 3-part breath. Let's come forward to our plank, and we're going to lower all the way down to the floor. Let's shrug our shoulder blades back. We're going to inhale up, cobra, exhale down. Let's do that several times. On an exhale, we'll press child's pose or downward dog. And let's come forward to our plank, tuck our toes, and walk our feet back in, shake everything out. And let's hinge up from here. Turning sideways on our mat, just like we started. We'll come back to our goddess pose. So from here, let's open and close our hands a few times. We're going to turn them in and out. Let's take our hands behind our head this time and really just press our head back into our hands, open our elbows, opening our chest. And we're going to take this to a deeper side bend, just over to one side. Let's bring this back up again, lengthen through the crown of the head, opening up here. Let's take it over to the other side. Let's come back to the center, opening up here. Let's do one lion's breath here, where we're going to inhale, and then on this one we exhale through our mouth, sticking our tongue way out and roaring like a lion. Let's take the hands down, relaxing our shoulders. Let's bring it back up. One more lion's breath. And walking our feet in halfway. Let's take it to those hip circles. And the other way. And let's bring our feet together, inhaling up. Let's lengthen up and over to one side, finding our half moon. Reaching up over to the other side. And let's inhale up here, exhaling, hands to our heart. Thank you for joining me for this feminine charged workout today. See you next time. Namaste.